Okay, so now should be fixed now, I hope. So I'll repeat what I was saying later. But I was well prepared in this opening. This is exactly what I had expected him to play. I looked at some games of Carlsen. One of them featured a5 before I play b4. I think it was before. That was a really interesting game, and I had the same pawn structure, same piece placements in that game, and Magnus went on to win. I looked at some other games too, some Karpov games, and just some other very strong players. I looked at quite a few games to sort out my prep. I was prepped until pretty much move 9, to be exact, and I looked to move about 16 or 17 on quite a few other lines that I felt were very challenging and put me to the test right away. However, I was able to sort them out. I was able to sort out those problems. Okay, so he says that it's still not fixed. I'm not exactly sure. I don't know. I guess I'll just have to deal with it and figure it out later. I did test it earlier, but I didn't have any problems. Let me move this over just a little bit so that people can see the moves sometimes a little bit more. I could even actually just kind of get rid of this. Queen e7, logical move here. Okay, time to tank again. So here I'm looking at this rook here. Okay, I hope that's true. I hope it's fixed. I'm looking at rook d1 here. What else? Rook c1, maybe. Is there c5? c5 takes. That looks really ridiculous. c5 I can roll out. Like I said earlier, I'm not a morning person. I need my caffeine. Sorry, not a night person. I'm already starting to feel a little bit tired. So what is that? Rook fd1 looks very logical here. It's my main move. What is he gonna do? Maybe c5 takes e5. Doesn't scare me at all. c5. Rook c8. I think he should be playing with f5 maybe. So what am I going to do about that in the future? I think I want my rook on the d file anyway. If I move it right away, he has knight g4, which does worry me. So I want to keep my rook here. Maybe play h3, so this does come to mind now. So I do have to be aware about that. I think now probably would be a good time for h3. I'm just thinking ahead a little bit, and if I ever do play f3 to chase this knight away, I don't think I'll like h3 very much. So what I'm looking at now is knight d2, queen d2, knight e4, queen c2, bishop d3 also comes to mind. Bishop d3, what's going on? Bishop d3 now. I don't want to be trading my bishop for the knight. So basically I'm choosing between h3, which seems not really that flexible, and knight d2. So knight d2, knight takes d2, queen takes d2, knight e4, queen c2, or queen d3. Interesting, actually, option. Queen, but the queen might not belong on the d file. It's a toss-up here. Also, a4 briefly came to mind. So, but if a4, I feel like I'm not really doing anything on my position yet to help it. There's 91. So rook to e8, f3, knight g5. So 91. Knight d2, queen. That's helping him. Rook a d1, I think I'll play. I'm not liking knight d2. Though here after a5, I'm a little bit unsure about this move, but I think after a5 I should play b5. Alright, a5, let him take I don't know. This is a decision that I'll have to look back on and figure out what was the best plan afterwards. So, yeah. Yeah, there's a delay in the stream. I could probably think about what he might want to do. I'll flip the board and figure out what he wants to do. So I was thinking c5 or e5 here. So if he plays e5 takes, that doesn't, he can't play e5 yet, because e5 takes, bishop takes, or knight takes. So e5 he can't play yet. If he plays d5, that blocks in his bishop, which I will respawn c5. So d5, c5, b takes, b takes. And I'm very happy with that structure. He can move this knight, I guess. If he goes here, I will play h3 probably. So that doesn't worry me a whole lot. If he moves his knight here, maybe I can consider bishop g3, tempo on this knight, f5. f5 might be what he wants to do though, so maybe bishop d3 would be a bad thing, because I'm thinking that he really should be getting an f5, f4 as soon as possible, and that should be his plan, f5, f4. That's what I think his plan should be here. I have queenside space. He should be looking to attack on the king side. His bishop is pointed this way, his knight's here. This knight is within range to come in eventually, or it's supporting this knight in the center. So I think he should be playing on this side of the board, but after here I will play h3. Well, what is there? What else is going on? What else could he do here? He could play a5. a5 does interfere with my plan of c5 possibly, and it maybe threatens to put a rook on a2, but that should be the wrong side of the board for him to play on, so I'm not incredibly worried about that. Maybe I should be, but maybe I have queen b3 or something there attacking the rook. Yeah, so I'm going to be doing most of my talking on his time. So he plays rook f2 c8. What's he doing first? So what's he doing? He wants c5 maybe? If c5 I take it, and then I play b5. If that's what Magnus did. Now that his rook's left the f-file, maybe I am more willing to exchange these knights, and I can take back with my rook. Possibly intending to double. So, okay, my first move, knight d2, that I'll think about. Knight takes d2, rook takes d2, knight e4. I'm looking at like rook d3 possible. d3 feels kind of wrong for some reason. Yeah, because I mean, rook here would be kind of clumsy. Rook and queen, maybe the bishop will come here and skewer me. b5 takes. Okay, so knight d2, knight takes d2, rook takes d2, knight e4, bishop f3, knight takes, bishop takes, forking both rooks. Can the knight get out somewhere? This, like, for some reason looks incredibly strong, actually. But maybe... What's going on? So knight d2, knight takes d2, rook takes d2, bishop f3. Or knight takes knight d2, knight takes d2, rook takes d2, knight e4, bishop f3. Knight takes, bishop takes, fork. He is attacking this. So I guess I should consider other moves. So knight d2. There's also rook d3 here. Rook d3, knight takes f2, king takes f2, bishop e4, queen e2, bishop, or queen d2, bishop d3, queen d3. I would assess that as good for me, but I'm not sure. And if I'm not sure, I don't really want to go for it, so... Ugh. Rook d3 seems to be the one that's really trying to get my attention. So let me try and calculate this again. Rook d3, knight f2, king f2, bishop e4, d1. I might know why it was sticking out at me as bad. Knight g4, so knight g4 would attack this. Check. My king on f2. So knight d2, rook d2. I'm not confident though, for some reason. But knight d2 it is, I guess. I can't really spend. I can't spend forever. This is 45-45. This isn't 90-30 or 90 and 40 and then game in an hour or something. This is 45-45. Got to be a little bit quicker. I'll flip the board around and look to see what he might do. Knight d2 is, I mean, opens as bishop. But I want to play f3 soon, maybe. Stop knight g4, make this knight stupid. So if I can get in f3 for free here, basically, I'm pretty sure that I'm doing very well. So if I get in f3 basically for free here, I have a feeling like I'm doing extremely well. If I don't get it in, then maybe it's equal or worse for me. I think his critical tries to take and then put his knight here maybe, and then try something. It just something about that doesn't count. I can't. I'm missing something. It just feels like I'm missing something. I have no idea what it is though that I'm missing, but when I get these feelings, they're almost always right. Let me try and figure it out. Knight d2, rook d2, bishop e4, queen b3. Yeah. Also, if he puts another, maybe my thinking is spot on actually, because if he does to go put his knight here back on back on e4 or something. Okay, this I was not worried about at all, but I have to make sure that my line works. So I wanted to take and then play b5, which is what Magnus Carlsen did, and this turned out to be a really strong plan for him. And I mean, if it's strong for Magnus, it's good for me. So d takes. I think b takes is maybe more obvious because it takes towards the center, but d takes is what I planned here. So I just want to make sure that I'm not missing something here. So d takes, b5, a6, a4, ab, ab, rook a2, queen b3, and then his rook has to go back somewhere, and I'm very happy there. I'm pretty sure I'm doing very, very, very well there. But this is the most obvious move to me is d takes, because this is what Magnus did in his game. Yeah, this move I wasn't worried about at all. I guess there's also knight takes knight, knight takes knight, f3. That looks very strong too. Okay, so takes, if he takes with the b pawn, then I get a potential passer here, so b5 and a4 coming, and I'm very happy there. I think I'm doing great here after this, after it takes. So is there any difference though after takes, if he takes here? I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't know. I'm optimistic now. I probably am too optimistic, but normally that's sometimes gets me into trouble, and sometimes it makes my game sharp really good. So if he takes with the d pawn, I play b5. And I'm going to try and cruise for these next couple of moves, I hope. And also that still the plan f3 e4 makes some sense here. But even just playing f3 and not playing e4 and putting my bishop back on d3 looks, or putting my bishop on d3, it hasn't been there yet, looks sort of strong. I mean, I don't think I'm missing anything because yeah, because knight takes f2 doesn't work ever. Knight takes f2 is something that I want to watch out for. Maybe knight takes f2. I can, if I need, I can play bishop takes f6 and then take on f2. Or bishop f6. Bishop f6 runs into knight h3, gh3, queen. I'm still better there, but my king is a little bit exposed. But maybe that's the emergency break if I need it. Knight takes, rook takes, knight g4. No, knight g4 never works because I have a bishop there. What am I thinking? Yeah, those are sometimes my troubles. Calculation, small calculation. That's where I struggle. But I excel in finding plans and that sort of thing. I wonder if d takes surprised him. Because d takes is great. It opens up my bishop, it opens up my rook. My queen is open. My bishop might come to d3 with all those arrows. It's very scary. f3 is coming maybe. And then if you take with the b pawn, I get this passer of sorts. I don't really see how he makes the game messy, besides maybe knight takes d2, rook takes d2 or something, but I don't believe it. I can't seem to make myself believe that anything like that works, or helps him at all, or helps him a lot anyway. I'm sort of confident here. So maybe if he plays D takes... Okay, he plays B takes, which I think is actually wrong. I'm pretty sure B takes is wrong, because now he has bad pawn structure. His rook is oddly placed here. It should be on the B file, but maybe not even on the B file. I think his rook still belongs on this side of the board. So I'm thinking B5 here. And B5 is actually what I had planned in most of these lines. I guess I should look at some other move first, because I always should, just real quick. So F3, knight takes, rook takes, takes. Maybe weak, maybe not weak. Yeah, but maybe weak, maybe not weak. I would prefer to be on the safe side. So B5, A6, A4, AB, AB, and I'm better. Slightly, I think. Oh, B5 does allow D5. Should I be worried? Yeah. B5, D5. I should have thought of those before. Maybe I'm... F3, knight takes, rook takes. F3, knight takes, rook takes, D5. His knight is shut out. Pawn is isolated. What's going on? Something doesn't add up there. B5, D5, F3. Transpose is right. Probably B5 here is critical. F3 also looks very... F3 forces things. So, what's going on? So, F3, knight takes, queen takes. F3, knight takes, queen takes. Ah. F3, knight takes, queen takes. His bishop's bad, then I'm attacking this. D5 takes, takes. Bishop takes, queen takes, and then I take here. Let me make sure. Take. So F3, knight takes, queen takes. Maybe it's wrong. takes, queen takes. Knight takes f3. Knight f6. Ah, maybe this is right. Knight takes f3, knight f6, e4. Takes. Knight takes, f3, knight f6, e4, takes. I seem to be actually very happy with that structure change. Knight, oh right, knight takes, bishop takes? If bishop takes, I have a queen d6, I guess, or queen d2. So knight takes, bishop takes, queen d2. f3's coming. Bishop will have to move. So knight takes it is. I hope this is right. I just hope this is right, because if it is, I think I'm doing extremely well. If it's not right, it's equal. So I had so many options there. In a regular game, I would have taken so much time there, possibly 30 minutes, to decide on what I was going to do there. But I don't have a whole lot of time, and it's still quite early in the game, and for me to be down to 21 minutes is a little bit ridiculous. So queen d2 is what I was thinking. So queen d2, can he push right away? Or is that just nonsense? Because if he pushes right away, I have this f3. Queen d2 looks like the absolute only move here. I guess there's also queen a4, but then he has free reign to take or do whatever he wants. So queen d2 here makes the most sense. I guess I also have bishop f6. No, because of takes. Then he's on a rook. I'd be only getting a queen. Maybe it was something else to consider, but I really do need to be watching time here. Fortunately, I have this everything covered over here. My bishop's covering the pawn. Pawns are covering each other. I'm attacking this. So if he has to play d5 now, d5 f3. So I really should calculate this. d5 f3, bishop g6, e4. No, takes, pawn takes. I'm horrible at calculating things. So f3, bishop g6, or no, d5, f3, bishop g6. Maybe then I have b5. So almost against anything here, f3 is going to be my move. The reason why mostly has to do with that I want to do two things. I want to gain a tempo on a piece that's on e4. I want to control e4 and g4 completely, so I can't put a piece there. And that would make this knight look really stupid here. Right about now is when in a real game, I'd be getting up to take a walk, and I would be back in about 3 minutes. Clear my head, but here I can't do that. Don't have enough time. I see. He can't play d5 because I play bishop takes, and then I take here. So, d5, f3, bishop g6, bishop takes, queen takes, pawn takes, queen takes. And I am better. Up a pawn. So d5 is not possible. That really makes me a lot happier now that d5 isn't possible. So I'm going to flip the board again. I like to do this occasionally and figure out what he's going to do. If I were him, a5 would be ridiculous here because of f3 and then b5. So a5 would be absolutely ridiculous. You could never play such a move and get away with it, giving me this pass pawn. I think he missed his strategy. Wrong strategy for him. What I was looking at was that he could that he should keep his rook on this side and try and move the knights out of the way and get an f5 or something. That seemed to be almost a universal plan for him in this Bogo Indian. I could be wrong. I only looked at it briefly, but in all of the games where Black did well, that's what Black did, is focused on the king side. Now that Black has shifted attention to the queen side, I'm pretty sure it's favoring me. If I had to give a number to this position, like engine evaluation, I would probably say that it's 0.5 for me. Somewhere around there, half a pawn. Maybe I'm being over optimistic and it's more like 0.2 or something, but it feels like white has something here. And this feels like my kind of position too, which I'm very happy to get. I'm trying as much as I can this game. Shout out to my student who is currently playing in Las Vegas. Chenis, he's playing in Las Vegas and he has 2 losses and a win, and he's playing in under 1900, so I mean that's pretty reasonable. Really looking forward to see what black does here. So if black takes, I'm going to take back, because if I don't take back and I play like f3, he might be able to play b takes a3. And any craziness or mess like that, I don't want any part of. That is not how I play chess. I want it calm, simple, and where I have a very, very focused goal. My focused goal is to queen this b pawn, because it's going to become a possible pass pawn. A pawn is stopping it from that, but in the future. Push my queenside majority. Focus. It's funny, he's taking a lot of time here. I wonder if he missed queen d2 or something. But queen d2 is kind of obvious, I think. Maybe he's thinking about bishop g6 right away. That way he has knight e4, but then I just take, no, that doesn't even, what am I thinking? Even that doesn't work. He might have to play something like knight e8 here, which looks horrible. It looks ridiculous to play knight e8 here. Also, rook d8 looks, then why did you put the rook on c8? That doesn't add up. His plan doesn't add up here. I'm gonna turn this monitor off. I have a second monitor over here to watch my open broadcast software, to make sure that my stream is still up and that sort of thing. Okay, it's 9 o'clock here. 9 p.m. This is definitely getting interesting, this game is. I'm starting to like white's chances here quite a bit. I guess I didn't consider all of black's options here. Maybe takes, and I'm okay with that. I think white is strategically just better here, because my pieces make sense, and his, like, specifically these rooks don't make a whole lot of sense where they are. And I got this going. I got this going for me. I got f3 coming to control g4 and e4 for eternity, basically. The only problem with f3 that I have to be a little bit careful of is that weakens this square and this diagonal to my king. However, since I have a dark bishop and he doesn't, dark squares is my control. So if I can neutralize the white squares that he has, then I should be doing very well. And I think he's taking quite a bit of time here. I wonder what he's thinking about. I'm not exactly sure what he would be thinking about here, because queen d8 seems like such an obvious move to me. But maybe he just missed this whole plan or something that I have. It's quite obvious, I'd think, but I have a feeling maybe rook d8 is best, or knight e8, but both moves are don't seem right. If you notice, I play a lot on feeling, and yeah, he plays rook d8. Sensible move. So here I'm considering f3, b5. So f3, bishop b7, b5. Yeah, this is probably very good for me. So this f3 and e4 even. I'm digging the plan. f3, bishop g6, e4. d5 he can't play because I take and take everything on this square and I'll be a pawn up, I think. My calculations are never that good. I'm just considering if there's anything else. So after f3 he really can't play d5 because I take, and takes doesn't work. I just have queen c3 or even queen c2 is very reasonable there. f3 just seemed something. f3 just seems like the right move. f3, bishop b7, b5. Or no, then I play e4, stopping his play, probably. So f3, bishop b7, e4, d5 takes. Maybe he does save his pawn there. I'm not even sure if he saves his pawn there. I can't calculate anything, to be honest. Calculation is not my not one of my strengths. Not at all. I got some kind of messages. He said battle of the g7 and something bishop. I think his game is done. Probably. So I think here what I should do is play f3. And then he has bishop g6 or bishop b7. f3 is part of my plan, so I guess I'm going to do it anyway. Even if it's not the most precise move here, I should continue with what I intended unless there's something wrong about it. So bishop b7, e4, d5. Bishop takes, queen takes, a pawn takes, pawn takes. I got another message. Oh no, he lost a close Sicilian position against an 1800. Okay, bishop b7, e4, d5, bishop takes, f6, queen takes f6, e4, d5, bishop takes f6, queen takes f6, e takes, c takes, bishop takes. I have queen c3 also. Queen c3, d5, cd5, bishop d5. Pawns must be pushed, these queenside pawns. But I'm not sure if I want to throw an e4 first or not. I think I probably should throw an e4 first. Oh, but then my bishop is tender here. Choices, too many. I can't deal with choices. e4, d5, e. Ah, I see something very concrete. I can go here. I should think about it on his turn here. But this is another option that I just didn't see before. But it looks very strong. Queen g5 is also an option. d5, c takes, e takes. Queen g5. Yeah, I wish my calculating skills were just slightly better. I mean, it just needs to be improved just a little bit, and I think I could have great chances to win these positions every time, but my calculation skills are not there yet. I have trouble with the simple stuff. So he plays this move as expected. I can try and grabby a pawn. Bishop takes, queen takes, and then take here. Ooh. Temptation. Takes. Bishop takes, queen takes. Queen g5. I guess I really should take here though somehow. I have queen f4 also targeting eventually maybe this pawn. So e5 takes. Queen c3. Queen. 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . 3 . I have queen g5, and if takes on this square or this square, I have e5 works. e5 and I take a queen. Queen g5 is very tempting here. Queen g5, what's going on? Queen g5, h6, bishop takes, queen takes, pawn takes. Something happens. Queen g5 takes. This square is available for the knight. I'm going to take here. But if you ask me why I took there, I can't figure it out. This isn't my kind of position at all. Well, I mean, too much calculation is needed here. I was good earlier. I still want this trick with queen g5. And then playing e5. So if takes, queen g5, e5, or queen g5, I guess he takes. Ugh. Back to the tactics trainer after this. Ugh. My calculation abilities, not good. No good. Maybe I am just winning the c-pawn cleanly here, or something. Because I can always insert the bishop takes f6, and if he has to take with the g-pawn, I'm very happy I played bishop takes f6, I think. But that bishop is still really, it's still really strong. My calculation abilities are almost there, like, it's just incredible how close my calculation abilities are to just increasing my level a lot. I guess e takes is the I don't know what he's thinking about. E takes is the only move that I see. Bishop takes, queen takes. Pawn takes. This feels forced, actually, kind of now that I think more about it. There's also the chance that this is just wrong. Knight d7 f4. Feels like there was something more. I don't know what I missed. No idea what I missed. Knight h5 f4, discovered attack on the knight. Maybe this is still okay for me, but it feels like I had something more. There was definitely something there, but I have no idea what it was. So he has basically three options with his knight, and none of them look particularly attractive. After knight h5, I play f4, discovered attack on the knight. So he doesn't really want to do that one. And I have a kingside majority also now, 4 on 3. So I'll try and push this too, and attack his weak center pawns somehow. I don't know how, but that's the goal. Figure it out on the way. Knight d7 f4, knight e8 f4. So I guess f4 against any knight move here, I suppose. Probably something like that. I do see this move knight e4, which attacks my queen, and after I take it, he can take back and get a discovered attack on my queen. But this looks really suspicious, and I'm sure it just blunders a piece. But I did check such nonsense to make sure that I wasn't losing something like this bishop here or something. So he plays knight e8. So he might want to do this. I really wish I could, like, put a stop to him pushing there. But maybe I can play f4 now. f4, knight c7. So f4, knight c7, and then I'll wait for him to put his knight there, I guess. So I'll play something else. Maybe f4 looks very, very logical here. I don't know if I should consider much else. I do have this option to take, and after queen takes, I can play queen c3. Endgames are going to be good for me if he takes. Well, wait. No, if I take, he takes with check. So, I guess f4 it is. And maybe I can activate the bishop along this diagonal now. Activate the bishop along this diagonal. And if he pushes this pawn and does that, I might not mind such a trade of light square bishop because my rook will get active. Rook f3, rook d3, or rook to the third rank somewhere, and maybe his king will even come under fire because I still have this looming bishop on b2, and with some queen g5 or rook g3, this square could be a little bit tender. Also, if knight c7, I have bishop f3 immediately, and after knight to e6, I can play f5. Also, after knight c7 here, bishop f3, there's a pin on the d pawn, because otherwise I would take the bishop. So you could imagine if knight here, bishop f3, d5, I would take a bishop for free. This pawn is weak. These pawns are kind of a little bit weak here. I have a nice center. His knight is stupid. The bishop is mish. This rook is bad. So when I go over with my students, I would say that which bishop is better here. I'm not actually entirely sure myself. At the moment, his bishop is biting on stone. Mine doesn't do anything, but I would say this bishop is actually better because I'm the one that can choose to trade it off. I would say this rook is good compared to this rook, which I'm not sure. This rook could also be considered green. This bishop compared to this knight is definitely favorable. The bishop is much better than the knight. And this rook is good compared to, or this rook, I don't know. It's also a tricky call between the rooks. I'm not exactly sure how I would do it, but my queen is definitely better than this queen. So something like this, 4 green pieces and 5 green pieces for me. Maybe, I'm not sure what colors to give them, but I think my pieces are really, really strong here. They feel just much stronger for some reason. We'll see what happens though. We're both a little bit short on time, not too bad, but what's his blitz rating? 1856. What's my blitz rating? 1849. My blitz rating was at 1899. I remember being really bad when I lost like 5 games in a row after I got to 1899. So you have a bullet rating. No bullet rating. And no ultra bullet rating either. Yeah, my ultra bullet is very bad. I'm only 1400 ultra bullet. So knight c7, I have the choice bishop f3 or f5. So bishop f3, knight e6, f5. Where's the knight gonna go? Or f5 immediately. I like bishop f3 because it stops him from playing d4. I gotta make some quicker choices here. Time is running slightly short. So, rash decision or not, bishop f3 it is. I always have this option for f5 later if I want it to. But knight e6 is what I expect, after which I don't know what I'm going to do. Knight e6 sort of pseudo-attacks this pawn so my queen can't go very far. It defends d4 square, which could be important. And if I play f5, he has knight g5, which does a little bit annoy me. Not a great deal, but a little bit. I think what I want to do after such move is I want to, after knight e6, maybe I'll play b5. I'm liking b5. I'm liking b5 a little bit. b5, c4, a5, queen c5, check, bishop d4, and then bishop d4, knight d4, queen d4, rook d4, and I'm much better, probably winning there. I have a feeling like that would be winning for me. So, but he's not going to play such ludicrous trades. He's lower on time than me. I'm impressed. You have to work really hard to be lower on time than me. You have Carlos Magnuson in the chat, John J. Pershing, and the moderator of the 45-45 League, T-Nan 123. Ooh, time's getting close. I'm starting to get a little bit worried that we'll have a blitz sort of game going on. So knight e6 b5. b5 could also get a little bit weak because he'll have a6, maybe. Oof, time scramble. I can't wait to see after the game what I missed, because it sure feels like I missed something. Takes, queen takes, bishop there, knight takes, queen takes, pin. Oof. So f5, knight g5. What's going on? I don't think I like that very much. B5, E4, B5, D4. Queen H4, F G3, Queen D7. I can push or I can play A4. If C4, I do what? C4, I don't know what to do, but it sure doesn't feel critical. So I shouldn't worry greatly, I suppose. Time's getting very tight. Maybe I should play King H1. So C4, King H1, because then the diagonal will be open and there will be no more check. Oof. Time scramble. Why can't my opponents not put up much of a fight? Why do they all have to play somewhat reasonable moves and stop what I'm doing? We have a new joiner in the chat. Hello, another one from Australia. My opponent's from Australia. 2 p.m. there. In any lines where my queen moves, I have to remember that f4 is currently hanging if my queen moves too far away, or it doesn't stay defending f4. Now that I think about it, that's kind of scary. Though I have bishop d4 probably. Just after c4, bishop d4, just ending the problems. No, because this is hanging. Queen b4 doesn't work. Oh, queen. Oh, I have this pin. This pin might come in handy. So if c4, I don't have to respond to this threat immediately because there is this pin. on the pin to the queen here. But it feels like maybe there's something very important that I have to find after this in order to not lose by force. Still, very difficult position. Not a time you want to have 3 minutes or 7 minutes. Still very much a middle game. Still very difficult. (9:42 p.m. here). So c4. Wow. This I did not expect. What is going on? Bishop takes, pawn takes. Bishop takes, pawn takes, queen takes. He wants queen takes here. This seems, oof. I don't know what to say. This surprises me a lot. I don't even have to take this pawn right away. I can just do something else. Bishop takes, pawn takes. A4. Yeah, no, this has to be a horrible move. This has to be bad. He's blocking his bishop in. His pieces are bad. This cannot be a good move. Possibly his only real serious mistake of the game. Got to make sure this is right though, and I'm not missing something. I tend to miss stuff in these kind of positions though. So I'm looking if he plays queen h4, what happens? But then I just play g3. I really do think he has to take that. He has to chop that off. Otherwise, I just move my bishop back or something. Wow, that was shocking, to say the least. And then I just play a4. And he has no real entry points, and I suppose. Because if he brings his queen in, like to say a3, then I can just play rook a1. His queen can't come into b4 because my queen is there. So I guess I take this. And then I play a4 here. What's he want? Maybe he wants rook c8, but there's no time to think. I can't really spend too much time on this move. Really? There's a win here. This has to be winning for me. Feels winning. a4. Queen c5. Queen takes. I'm not afraid of the queen trade. He can't. If he enters, I attack his queen, or I defend my pawn. Pawn's going to be defended by the queen anyway. His bishop's bad. My bishop's putting pressure. Pawn will have pressure. Queen is bad. Rook is bad. Rook is bad. a4 it is. a4 it is. Here we go. I expect maybe rook c8. Rook c8, queen takes, queen, rook c4, queen a1. This pawn is hanging. But I might have some kind of tactique on there discovered. No, because this, he takes a check. So rook c8 looks like to be the best move for him right now. After which I'll play rook c1, probably. Or a5. Wow, a5. So rook c8, queen takes, rook c4. Queen takes? Rook takes? There's got to be a win there, because I mean these pawns are quick. These guys are coming quick. B6, B7, B8. And there's not a whole lot he can actually do to stop that. Like if he plays rook c8, queen takes, rook c4, queen takes, rook takes. So rook c8, queen takes, rook c4, queen takes a7, rook takes, b6, what's going on? He's getting really low on time. 1 minute to 5 minutes here. Pressure. Big time pressure. Time to think. I think rook c8 here, he has to play that. Like, there's nothing else that I can see that's challenging at all. Okay, so he plays this rook c8. Maybe queen takes rook c4. Okay, so his threat is to play rook c4. How about I be prophylaxis? I play calm retreating move. Bishop e2, stopping rook c4. Bishop e2. Where is he going to go? If he plays rook c3, I take. And he's dead lost. I calm move. Bishop e2. Double exclam. What's he going to play? Queen h4, I play g3. Probably. Weaken Stagnal, but I think with my queen here and stuff, he's going to have no mate. So bishop e2. Bishop e2 looks almost decisive, I would say, because he can't really hold on to this pawn. I don't see it. Queen c5 runs into queen takes. Yeah, this is lights out. I'm winning here, I think. Yes, excitement. Calm moves and preparation paid off. I'm glad I seen that Magnus Carlsen game where he pushed the queenside pawns in sort of similar style, and but his opponent was quite strong. His opponent was over 2600 and was able to hold off the queenside pawns, but Magnus eventually won on both sides of the board, like he always does. 30 seconds. Prophylaxis, bishop e2, double exclam. (14, 13). He won't lose on time. He'll play a move. Queen c5. I guess I take it. His threat is to push with check. So I take it. If queen c2, I have rook c2. Queen, where else does this queen go? I don't see anything else. Taking it looks very good. I'll pre-move rook takes. He shouldn't trade, I wouldn't think. Wow, he took. So he might be playing rook c2 here, but then I just play bishop f3. Rook c2, bishop f3, and then I bring my f-rook to d1. So rook fd1 on the next move after that, probably. Simple chess. I'm just going to be attacking his weaknesses. So I can start with my bishop. I want to see if there's anything better, though. This is just target. A free target, basically. I get a free attack. Who was it? Yas or someone would say? Free attack. So maybe I'll start with the bishop so he doesn't have rook c2 at tempo. I don't think it's going to matter, but I'm going to try and be precise. Bishop f3. What's he going to do? I also have this kind of annoying plan. F5 and e6. But I want to stop any counterplay that he might get first. I guess I'll play bishop f3, rook c8, rook d1. I have a majority on the king side and a majority on the queen side and a target, and I'm a pawn up. So this is just winning here. My rook is blockading fairly nicely. Rooks aren't the best pieces to blockade with, but of the pieces I got left, this is looking really good for me. So he brings his king over. I guess now I'll attack the weakness again. Rook fd1. Build up on the weakness. Always just keep the pressure going. So if he wants to keep it, he has to play a really bad move like rook d8, which he does play. But passive defense never works like this. You can't get away with passive defense. So now I can play rook d2, rook c1 check, king f2, and I can just slowly bring my pieces in. bring my king in anyways. F5 also comes to mind. H4 comes to mind. G4 comes to mind. I also have this bishop G4 whenever the king gets anywhere near here. This is a really fun position to have. This is torturous. So king F2, rook C2 check doesn't work, a rook D2. So if I play G4 here, G4 also looks very reasonable. I want to gain space on the king side and create my pass here. F5 looks very, very strong here too. Every move looks strong. I don't see what the problem is with any of the moves. I'll bring my king up one square and start G4 next move, but he can't really play H5. He could play G6, which would be a weakening move, and then I play here. Then I play G4. So I guess king F2 it is. King E7. So I have this slightly annoying move, bishop G4 here, which I can't argue with because, I mean, I don't want to... It doesn't even matter because if his king goes here, I just take. So G4 it is. Yep. This is very close to being just lights out. I have bind on the position. My pieces are all active and placed perfectly placed pieces. Can't ask for anything else. This is one of my nicer games that I've played. Definitely, probably my nicest game that I've played in the 45-45 league. And I've played some not so bad ones. But this might take the cake for my favorite game. So far. He has 2 minutes and 8 seconds left. I'm looking for any counterplay that he might have, but I don't see it. I don't see how he gets any counterplay at all here. Because if he plays a6, I can take it, and bishop takes, and then I take on e5. And I have an extra queenside pawn plus an extra kingside pawn. So, I mean, that wouldn't worry me unduly to enter that kind of endgame. So here, maybe... G5 comes to mind with the idea of bishop G4 check. King G3 also comes to mind. King E3 comes to mind. G5, King F5. He might get mated there. Yeah, he might be fishing for trouble if he plays that. So g5. G5 looks the part. What's he got? Does he have anything? You know what? King e3 it's going to be. I want to try and stay on the dark squares if possible, because he's got a light squared bishop. So he plays g6. Yeah, here now I might play g5. g5 restricts his kingside pawns. If he plays king f5, then I play h3 with the idea of bishop g4 checkmate. Bishop g4 checkmate? That looks right, right? Yeah, g5 with the idea of bishop g4 checkmate if king f5. So what else is he going to do? Rook f3? I'd just play rook d3? Or rook c3 to play rook d3? Yeah. So I play here. With the idea of king f5, h3, and bishop g4 checkmate. So king f5 looks very bad. I'm going to play bishop g4 check anyway, sometime soon. And he can't really move any of his pawns because I can take en passant. With any pawn I can take en passant. If he moves any pawn, I can either take regular or take en passant. Can't move his a pawn, he can't move his d pawn. F pawn, if it moves, I take en passant, or I just take regular. Same with the h pawn, g pawn can't move. This is an extra pawn and a bind. So this would make Petrosian and Karpov very happy. And every other chess player in history. Everybody would like this. Now I'm definitely willing to spend another 50 moves grinding this out. I don't care. I've played very, very, very grindish games against people that take forever. My favorite thing to do, grind. Oh boy. So now I have the option to take. If I take en passant, rook h8. What's going on? So takes rook h8, bishop g4 check. I might play h4 here, actually. I didn't want to take. It might allow some counterplay, and I still have my queenside majority. If I didn't have my queenside majority, I think I would be forced to take. But since I have the queenside majority, I can move my rooks over to the b file and put my king on d4 possibly, my bishop on e2. Also, if he plays something like rook d7 anytime soon, then I can play bishop g2 intending bishop h3. But I also might just play bishop h3 or bishop g2 and bishop h3 now or whenever I feel like it. So I'm gonna play rook d3, rook b3, rook b4, rook b3, and then I'll push my queenside, and then I can remaneuver my bishop around, like to this diagonal, once my pawns move, and then I can queen my pawn. I hope. Okay, if you want to dance, we can. I also have this f5 move whenever I feel like it too, and I might feel like it soon. But I might not. But I still can do pretty much whatever I want. I want to get my bishop to h3, at least for a move, and force this king to go back. And then I might consider f5. But his choices here are not choices that you want anyways. So if he does play rook d to c8, I have f5. Wow, he takes. Wow, I didn't even see this move. It can't be good. There's no way. There's no way you can get away with such moves. What are you doing? What are you doing? What was that? So he might want to go take my h-pawn, or try to, but after rook c1 I have rook h2. So king e3 check, king... I also can just play king g2. King g2 and laugh. I could play king f2 with the idea of king g2, but then his king might enter. So a5. I guess I'll play a5 here, actually. I do have to watch out that his king doesn't get in and take my h-pawn, but that's not going to happen. Yeah. So he goes here. So now I play rook b2. I guess rook b2. Yeah, this part of the game, I don't know how accurate it is, but at least I'm still just completely winning. Up the exchange and a pawn. He can take, but it doesn't change anything I can take here. Rook takes is forced because bishop is hanging. King f5 loses to rook f6, I suppose. Something. I had a game sort of like this, where I was up the exchange, and I think I was up a pawn or two pawns also, and the game went 108 moves, and like I took I took all the care that I needed. I should win these quicker, but I don't like to allow anything. Rook b2 stopping a check. If the bishop moves, I have rook b7 trading rooks, going into a very easily winning endgame. If rook... Wait, what? Here, rook here, check, rook here, k1. I'll win somehow, I'm sure. Rook d6 there, rook g1, king h2, rook f1, rook b3, rook c2 check, king g3, or king h3. Rook h1 check, king g2, rook c1, rook d6, rook c2 check, king h3, rook c1, rook b6. So he'll get some checks, but they won't do anything. King f3, not king h3, because he could maybe attack the f pawn. Maybe. Rook c2, king f3, rook c1. Yeah. Now I can trade rooks and go into an exchange up endgame, which is winning. I just want to think and make sure that this is going to be winning. Yeah, because I'll sacrifice here, and then I'll get my pawn. I'll be able to sacrifice on e5, and I've practiced very similar endgames, however even more difficult to win with the exchange. But you just have to sacrifice the exchange for the bishop and a pawn, and in this case it will be this pawn. So I can pre-move this. A king f2, king e3, king d4. And when his king is passive somewhere, then I will play the exchange sacrifice. I'll probably have my rook on d6, waiting for the exchange sacrifice. Also, if he just gives away d6, then I'll be able to sacrifice for the f-pawn and then the bishop. So here I have a choice. I can take the rook, which I won't. Or I can play king f2, which I probably will here. King f2 looks most precise. Okay, so he goes here. Takes. Or check. Wait. Check wins a whole rook, right? Rook b6 check. No. Doesn't, but it speeds up my process, I think. Speeds up the process. Yeah. So rook b6 check. King d7. Chase him again with a check. Yeah. Rook b6 check. King c8, rook takes. And his king is stuck to this box. What is the ultra precise move? Okay, so rook takes, bishop takes, king takes. So we can calculate this one to the end. Rook takes d5, bishop takes d5, king takes d5, king c7, e6. Takes bishop takes, king c7, e6 takes, king takes. Then I take all of these pawns. So, and if king d8, then I have king there. Is there any way to be more precise here? Like rook c6, king b8, king d6? Nah. Just takes is good enough. Rook takes, bishop takes, king c7. e6, king c8 doesn't work. Yeah. And we get a winning... Oh wow, he doesn't even take it? What? What is he doing? Well, if you don't want it, mister, then I won't give it to you. Then I'll go take your other pawns. So now I'll make your box smaller. f5 here. Takes. Rook h6. f4. Rook takes h5. f3. Rook h6. f2. Rook f6. And I stop the pawn. f5 takes. f5 takes. Rook h6. And what am I going to be? One? I'm going to have two pawns and a rook. So f5. I'm threatening to take twice. My pawns are on dark squares here. It's 10:37 here. This is probably my longest 45-45 game. I'm pretty sure he has to take, which I'll play rook h6, f4, rook takes h5, f3, rook h6, f2, rook f6, and then if he plays f1 queen, then I take it. And then I'll walk my king in eventually and take these pawns. And then I will do stuff. I always have to make sure that that I don't lose this, or draw it. I mean, he can't save his pawn. He has no bishop f7 here. And I'll have these two outside passers. Well, at least one outside passer protected. And I will mop up this pawn. And he has no chance here. So f4, rook takes h5, f3, rook h6, f2, rook f6, f1, queen takes. Okay, I'm gonna stop my stream now. Oh wow, I blundered somewhere. Ah, that's interesting. Played very strong, I think.